是时候出征了。
各位记住战士，即将前往最荣耀也最残酷的域外战场，军队中是等级分明的地方，下属必须服从上司。
两位小哥哥，加入媚女的小队，绝对是你们的最优之选呢。
一旦离开兵营基地，目之所及都是战场。
看来是时候让他们知道，第7战场是由谁主宰。
Hello everyone, welcome to the Al Razda channel. Here, I will share spoilers for SwallowedStar episode 178. Remember, this is based on the novel, so it won't be 100% similar to the Donghua version. Okay, without further ado, let's dive right into the story. After Luofeng finished his business with his insect race army, he wanted to take an order for insect race corpses in Wulong Starfield. After half a month of travel, Luofeng and the Yunmo ship finally arrived at Wulong Starfield. He stood in the control room, staring at the unlimited resources in front of him. In addition to creating millions of insect race soldiers, Luofeng also wanted to obtain more silver armor fragments. Elsewhere, at King Longju's palace in the Wulong Starfield, the 5-star managers gathered. They discussed Luofeng's rise and their concerns about his possible revenge for the mistreatment he had received from King Yanzhu in the past. They decided to welcome Luofeng with respect and make amends. Shortly thereafter, they greeted Luofeng outside the palace, and King Longjua introduced King Qi Li of the Huge Axe Dojo, who thanked Luofeng because thanks to Luofeng, King Yanzhu was now in prison, and he had the opportunity to replace King Yanzhu. Meanwhile, Luofeng, though polite, remained somewhat cold toward the 3 managers who had not helped him when Yanzhu was judging him. After the meeting, Luofeng entered the palace and attended the banquet prepared by King Longju. During the banquet, Luofeng revealed that his goal was to collect his order of 10,000 insect race corpses and search for treasure. The 5 managers quickly arranged for the delivery of the highest quality insect race corpses, which were far more efficient than previous purchases. They also gave Luofeng 100 world rings and a map to assist him in his treasure hunt in the Wulong Starfield. Luofeng was extremely pleased with the quality of the insect race corpses he received, far exceeding his expectations. He realized that the 5 managers were working hard to make amends for their previous mistakes. Long story short, Luofeng, using the Yunmo ship, began his search for silver fragments, an important material for making silver armor. He realized that this time was different from his previous searches. He could move freely without an escort, thanks to his new access to information through the virtual universe network and his increased authority. The map showed the locations of internal members, white dots, and outsiders, red dots, helping him navigate the starfield more efficiently. Meanwhile, Luofeng's search for silver fragments was more difficult than his search for black fragments, but it was crucial to his ultimate goal. He spent 21 years searching in the Wulong Starfield, while also managing his family affairs and watching over the growth of his sons. Finally, after collecting 113 silver fragments and 1,985 black fragments, he successfully perfected his silver armor, marked by the appearance of the word General on his chest, a symbol of new strength and status. Then he transformed the general's armor into a pearl and sent it to his inner world, where the golden-horned behemoth's body now wore silver armor. With its much stronger body structure, it could activate the silver armor far more effectively. With the help of its innate abilities, the monster successfully activated the armor to 10,000 times the power of a world master, approaching the power of an immortal. This was achieved after the monster's body significantly shrunk in size to increase its density, allowing its body to withstand the extraordinary pressure of the silver armor. Luofeng then continued his search for silver fragments, spending 60 years gathering the materials needed to craft the second general's armor. During this time, he also oversaw the development of his insect army. After crafting 2 silver armors and collecting a total of 60 soldier armors, Luofeng also had an insect army reinforced with millions of elite insect soldiers. With these thorough preparations, he was ready to face the war outside the territory. Before leaving, Luofeng was greeted again by 5 managers at Wulong Starfield. They also warned him about the dangers of the Outer Region War and advised him to head to Kangbird Planet, a location where troops were being transported to the battlefield. Luofeng, full of confidence, set off for the Outer Region War, ready to face the challenges ahead. Long story short, Luofeng arrived at Kangbird Planet, a large logistics base and transit point for troops heading to the Outer Region War. The size and construction of this man-made planet were impressive. After landing, he met a worker who explained the process of joining the troops heading to the battlefield. Luofeng then headed to the troop assembly area, where thousands of human soldiers had gathered, waiting to be deployed to the front lines. There he met 2 World Master warriors, Clarice and Buddy, who had spent 12 years traveling to that star. They shared drinks with Luofeng and discussed the waiting period before departure, which typically lasted until 100 World Masters had gathered. On this adventure, Luofeng used the alias Madman, maintaining secrecy about his true identity, aware of the dangers he would face if he revealed his position as a disciple of the Chaos City Lord. After waiting several days for the number of World Masters to reach 100, they were summoned to an authority award ceremony, where an immortal announced that their military ranks would be determined by evaluating their performance through tests in the virtual universe network. The ceremony divided the soldiers into 3 tiers: normal World Master soldiers, elite World Master soldiers, and World Master generals. Luofeng, who had demonstrated his strength in the virtual network previously, was surprised when his rank was announced, World Master General. When Luofeng accepted his position, he was surprisingly appointed as General World Master, a designation that shocked the other World Masters in attendance. This high appointment demonstrated his extraordinary abilities and strength. Not long after, it turned out that there was a second general in the group, a young man named Rock, who was also very powerful. After the promotion ceremony, Luofeng and the other soldiers were taken to a large hall with 11 space corridors leading to various battlefields outside the region. They headed to the 7th battlefield, which was known to have a high mortality rate of around 96.8%, but was also considered a good training ground for Luofeng. They arrived at a large hall that led to various battlefields. Luofeng and the other World Masters were taken to the 26th base on the 7th battlefield via a teleportation portal. They were greeted by several soldiers who divided them according to rank, and Luofeng, as a World Master General, was directed to a hall filled with hundreds of thousands of other World Master soldiers. Luofeng was surprised by the number of World Master soldiers at the base and wondered why so many soldiers had gathered in one place. The senior soldiers began recruiting Luofeng and the other World Master Generals into their team. Luofeng and the other World Master Generals then met Captain Tai Wo, an immortal warrior. Tai Wo explained that the human population was far larger than what was visible in the universe-level nations. Humans also lived in secret regions containing vast continents with populations equivalent to universe-level nations, as well as within god-level nations. Luofeng, using his access to the virtual universe network, confirmed Tai Wo's explanation. He learned that humans can be divided into 3 groups based on where they live: residents of god-level countries, residents of secret regions, and residents of universe-level countries. Each group has different chances of reaching the immortal or universe-venerable level. God-level countries have the largest populations, but the chances of reaching immortality are very low. Secret regions have a higher chance of achieving immortality than God-tier nations, but lower than universe-tier nations. Universe-tier nations have the smallest population, but the chance of achieving immortality is extremely high. In essence, the larger the population in each nation, the less essence is received. The benefits of interracial territorial wars are not merely about expanding territory, but also about managing populations and ensuring access to sufficient resources for the overall growth and development of the human race. Many of the World Masters stationed at that base hail from God-tier nations, and they have enhanced their strength through combat and the accumulation of contribution points. These soldiers often earn enough contribution points through battle to enhance their strength and reach a level comparable to that of immortal warriors. Luofeng was greatly surprised by this new knowledge about the scale of the human population, and the reasons behind the extraterrestrial territorial wars. At the 26th base, Luofeng and Rock meet Poison, a chemist and unique World Master General, and a member of the elite team under Taiwo's command. Poison emphasized the importance of chemists in war, who could alter the course of battle with their potions. Taiwo, who led the elite team, sought to recruit Luofeng and Rock into his team, which consisted of 7 World Master Generals with different specializations. Rock immediately accepted the offer, while Luofeng, after considering the need to join a team to meet military requirements, also agreed. Captain Taiwo then called and introduced the other members of the World Master General: an illusionist demon woman, a masked warrior named Poison, 2 mental warriors named Madwu and Shenlin, and a fighter named Hammer. This team consists of 10 members with diverse skills and has proven itself in battle. In the next few days, Rock and Luofeng listened to stories and advice from more experienced team members, learning about the realities of outer region warfare. They learned about the existence of allied forces from other races and the importance of the virtual universe system in identifying allies and enemies. They also learned about the high mortality rate in the war, over 95%, which was the result of ruthless battles aimed at forging extremely strong warriors. The veterans also explained that there were large-scale battles every 1,000 years, with extremely high death rates even for immortals, and that universe venerables had to intervene to participate in those wars. Despite the high death rates, the Outer Realm Wars offered many treasures and opportunities to increase one's power, including the chance to obtain extremely valuable combat manuals. After 8 days of discussion and preparation, the team finally headed to the battlefield. Luofeng and the other 9 World Master Generals arrived at a massive hall, where millions of soldiers and thousands of warships had gathered. The hall was so enormous that its diameter exceeded 30,000 kilometers. They boarded a small warship belonging to Captain Taiwo, constructed from E9 alloy and adorned with engravings of the fundamental laws. Luofeng noticed that the warship was not the best, given Captain Taiwo's experience and wealth. Then, they headed to the restroom, which turned out to be made of F9 metal, much stronger than the material used in ships in general. This room was designed as a last resort shelter in case of a sudden attack. Captain Taiwo activated the 100% external simulation so they could see the outside view clearly. Their ship joined a long line of other ships, following a specific route toward the base exit. As they approached the exit, they witnessed an astonishing sight. The base, which turned out to be a massive military base, had a diameter of millions of kilometers, even larger than the sun. The base was protected by a powerful, colorful energy shield and equipped with giant cannons capable of destroying anything that stood in its way. Luofeng and the others were awestruck by the grandeur and power of the base. Poison, one of Luofeng's teammates, explained that the base was an AAA class base, the highest class on the battlefield. Even galactic leaders couldn't destroy it. Luofeng realized that the cost of building the base must have been astronomical. Shortly thereafter, they left the base and entered the vast battlefield. They avoided the debris and remnants of battles floating in space, as some of them might be traps. Their ship continued to move, avoiding dangerous areas. Luofeng, with his sharp vision, saw the remains of ships, crushed insect bodies, and human corpses floating in space. Meanwhile, Hammer reminded them that battle could break out at any moment, possibly involving a sudden enemy ambush. After some time, they entered a safer area known as the Dark Universe, where they could rest before continuing their journey to their destination. This time, their journey will take another 3 days. Their destination is an extremely dangerous area, approximately 80,000 light-years from the 26th base. They will employ guerrilla tactics to survive. Captain Taiwo explained that the 7th battlefield contains over 100 million locations, like the Dark Universe. Safe zones where ships can accelerate to light speed. They continued their journey, and Luofeng kept observing the surrounding environment. He saw traces of massive energy explosions, indicating how dangerous the battlefield was. Seeing this situation, all of Luofeng's teammates were on high alert, ready to face battle at any moment. After some time, they reached a relatively safe area and activated their Dark Universe travel mode. They would rest for 3 days before reaching their dangerous destination. Luofeng reflected on how vast and formidable the battlefield was, and how insignificant they were in the face of the extraordinary forces present there. He realized that the battle awaiting them would be extremely difficult and dangerous. However, he and his teammates were ready to face the challenge for the sake of their survival and glory. They were tough, well-trained warriors willing to sacrifice everything for their mission. Their journey was still long and fraught with danger, but their fighting spirit remained unwavering. So what happens next? Alright, thank you for watching until the end, and don't forget to support this channel with likes, subscribe, and comments. That's all from me. Bye.
各位小哥哥，加入妹女的小队，绝对是你们的最优之选。
一旦离开边营基地，目之所及都是战场。
是时候让他们知道。